is really hot and humid today. But I was sitting here thinking of something. I just burned up parts of my Christmas tree from this year, or last year, and I was thinking about it. Like to me, as a survivalist, as an outdoors person, I grew up with my grandfather teaching me to take birch bark from a dead birch tree and using the underbark to create a fire. And it's something everybody obsesses over in the survival community. It's something that we all look into. Whether it's you're in an area, um, ideally you have what's available to you. Whether it's little twigs, whether it's dried leaves, whether it's something you have with you, whether it's a magnifying glass, whether it's a fire bow, whether it's a fire piston, whether it's steel and flint, whether it's a lighter, whatever. Okay, you're trying to take those materials and start a fire. So then you have the other caveat that if it's humid like it is today, if it's rained, if everything's wet, you're going to have a lot of problems starting a fire. You're going to have a lot of ways it's going to get in the way. If it's too dry, you have to worry about starting a fire that's going to spread. You could start a forest fire. So these things all come into factor. But you also have the ability you can carry stuff with you. So I want people to know how to be able to efficiently start a fire with just what you can find around you. But you also have to be smart about it. Along with that comes with taking a lighter, throwing a piece of duct tape on it. Duct tape burn. Having things like that with you. And so I've always had in my pack some birch bark, um, some pine needles. I saw just how quickly that went up. And having them in a little plastic bag. But you do find, like with the soap I've been dealing with, the moisture from the outside will take an effect and limit its ability over time too as it ages. So what are we going to do about this? Well, I got a thought came to my mind, and that's not a new thought, but it's a thought that people can use in the survival community that's very smart. And I've always been good at this. I've always been good at taking this and this and this and putting them together. So I'm with my soap. I'm taking these sealant bags. They look like a plastic mylar bag, and you put the bar of soap in it. And you fold it over. You take a hair dryer and you go around it, and the heat from the hair dryer shrink wraps around it. It's an old technology. It's nothing new. Um, it's not something I've done a lot. I've just gotten into it this week because I realized with those bars of soap sweating, it's starting to make the label get wet, and whether it's melt and pour, whether it's cold press, it's going to happen. Um, Also, the other benefit I noticed is that it allows the soap to be free from the outside, so it's not going to break down and over time um, have to be sold as quickly and used. So that gets me to that point. Why I'm explaining this to you is you can take pieces of newspaper, you can take cotton balls with Vaseline, dryer lint, you can take pine needles, you can take pieces of paper that are cut that'll fit into maybe like got a bunch of pieces of paper, newspaper, regular paper, into a stack maybe about 50 sheets thick. That's like the size of a business card. Throw that in there if you want to. Anything that's going to be your tinder that you want to take with you. Now, this is something that's going to not doesn't necessarily have to be a one use thing. You could use it one time. The plastic wrap itself would be a fire starter. Um, the mylar, whatever you want to call it, it's like a mylar. I believe it's a polypropylene. But essentially, what you're going to do is put those materials into the bag, fold it over, so you have a seal, and then take your heat gun or your hair dryer and let it vacuum seal around the bag. Now you don't want to do it real tightly because if there's anything sharp like a stick or a needle, it could puncture it. But you essentially want to take the air pressure out of it, seal it to where it's a little piece of plastic with all that wrapped in it, and you can throw it in a backpack, you can throw it in your purse, you can throw it in the top of your hat if you need to, under the brim. Anywhere you're going to be carrying, throw it in a wallet. Anywhere you're going to be carrying that. So you might need a fire today, tomorrow, a couple months later when you're out hiking, you're out hunting. You're sitting there. It's deer season, and you're sitting under the tree. It's a little bit colder than you thought it would be. You want to start a fire, which is going to scare all the deer away. But you're in a survival situation. In any case, you want something that's minimal impact, um, will last over time, will not have the atrophy of breaking down or moisture getting to it. So you're sealing it in that little bag. These bags are very cheap. You get them like 400 of them for $6, which if you break it down, it's several cents a bag. I know this because anytime you're making soap, everything you add, be it the label, be it the plastic wrap, be it the box you put it in, be it the fragrance oil, be it everything, the clays that you're using, it all adds up to the price of what you're selling. And this goes along with starting a fire too, because any of your fire starting equipment, that really precious small spark catching material is something that's going to be something you want to protect. It's something that's organic. It's something that you found. It's something that you're maintaining with you to carry. That even though it's a really minor little thing, it's precious to you. That if you do not have that, you are probably not going to have a fire. Now you're going to want to have that material and then build up larger ones. This is the most important part. Do not think that that's going to start the fire for you. You want to have it where you build up with smaller sticks, other things around it that are bigger. But these are the small items: the paper, the pine needles, the birch bark, things that are going to take a spark, and sealing them in that plastic to protect them. Um, just a thought out there. I know major companies do this when you buy fire starters for a fireplace. You see it's wrapped. Um, Doing it in that small little pouch is something you can do yourself. You don't need to go out and buy this. It adds another level to the idea of making your own fire starters, because a lot of them, people will throw them in an egg carton or something like that. You can do this yourself, vacuum seal it in there with just the hair dryer, and carry that in your pocket or anywhere, and it's not going to be where it's going to leak all over you. It's not going to cause problems. Thought for the community, freebie. So I leave that one out there for you, and try it out.